My father worked for Kentucky Farm Bureau Life Insurance Company, and he won a trip to Nashville. It was a tour of Nashville. So he and my mother came to Nashville and took the Gray Line tour of the town, and included on the Gray Line tour was a recording studio. And the recording studio that was included on the tour was the Turnley Studios at Belmont. The Gray Line tours were one of the ways that Belmont was able to pay to have the Turnley Studios. So my parents saw that studio and saw that it was part of a school, and they came back and they said, you know, this might be something that sort of captures your interests. And I said, great, you know, they brought back a brochure and everything. So I came down and visited Belmont in 1975. And I visited the campus and got more information. And being a young wild man, decided it was way too conservative for my tastes. So I didn't come to Belmont for a year. The next year I went back to college. I went to University of Kentucky, studied business, got very tired of just really focusing on just money flows and wanted something more expansive, and finally grew up enough to realize that if I wanted the education in this area, that Belmont was the right answer, and I would just have to learn to get over my liberal leaning ways versus their conservative leaning ways. So I chose to come to Belmont and never regretted a day of it. I was pleasantly surprised by the atmosphere, to learn, to explore, to develop your creativity, to develop your life skills, your management skills, all those sorts of things. It was a small school, and there was a lot to get done, and you know, as is always the case, there was never enough people. So if you raised your hand and stepped up, somebody would pick you and say, okay, you're the guy, go do this. I've been very fortunate to have jobs throughout my career where I've been given a lot of rope, and I've been given a lot of trust by the people that have employed me to keep things on track, to make sure that the businesses are run well, and a lot of financial trust. For the most part, I've never had people looking over my shoulder, checking every little detail that I do, because I think for the most part, the folks that I've worked for have trained me in a way where I know, and Belmont certainly prepared me to conduct myself in an ethical manner. And that was one of the many parts of the education I got at Belmont, even back that far, was you know, be a good person first and foremost. Try to have ethics and be honorable. I'm Pat McMakin, and I'm Belmont.